So I go say, Hola Mi Gente too?
No.
Oh. I'm gonna be like, navajas y pistolas.
Hola Mi Gente, we're back again on another episode of
Raices NYC. And on this episode, we have
Izzy Garcia, aka Spanish Licorice from Bushwick.
Spanish licorice from
Licorice
from
Bushwick.
Bushwick. Okay.
Mm.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. What you do?
Well, I'm originally from Mexico, but I was raised in Bushwick, and I'm 45 years old. I've been tattooing for the last 15 years now. But I was a graffiti artist when I was younger, and then I was trying to make moves with my art, and eventually landed into tattooing. And I think that like tattooing has definitely been like the best move for me. It opened up a lot of doors, like to meeting people and actually putting my art out there, making me my own boss and having my own business. Come from nothing, so like to be able to have this and have your own schedule and create is fire, you know. So
What got you into doing tattoos? What inspired you to be a tattoo artist?
I was having a hard time between like trying to make my art accessible, where you know people couldn't pay so much, or where people would wear it, or you know. But I never thought about tattooing as a thing until a cousin of mine told me about a guy he knew, and to maybe try it out, you know, because at the time too I needed money and I was broke and I was a young father, so I was like, maybe this can help me out, you know. But at that time it was more gang affiliated, so I was a little cautious about that. I'm from Bushwick, so like we're not afraid of anything, so you know.
Oh wow! If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Well, with Myrtle, you guys already know. You know?
Oh, damn. I didn't know. I don't want to know.
But
no,
you don't want to know. You know?
What did you say last time? On the reason why Bushwick is safe now?
Yeah, something like that. Something like that. I'm gonna keep it PC today, you know.
No, yeah, PG. Please, children watching this.
So, but no, it's crazy, bro. But I think you know what, like growing up next to Bed-Stuy and having that cultural background that Bed-Stuy has, I got inspired by a lot of like graffiti art. I'm from the 80s, so like I was around. I actually saw Keith Haring stuff when I used to go to Woodhull Hospital. I got to see a lot of like famous street artists in Manhattan. They had their art out in the street and stuff like that. So that was inspiring. Also, like I used to take the 5 train to the Bronx every weekend to see my grandmother.
Okay.
That's how I learned how to do graffiti, because I actually got to see the trains covered in graffiti art.
Oh wow!
So that's something not a lot of people got to witness, but I used to do it every weekend because we would stay Friday to Saturday morning, and I learned how to do graffiti. But you know, you grow up and you don't really. Sometimes people don't tell you, oh, you're an artist, so they don't. The way I grew up, they weren't like, oh, you could be this or you could be that, and until like you actually decide to do something with something that you have, like a talent, right? And then it starts showing like results, and you're like, well, I can actually do this. Yeah. But it took me a long time, though. It took me to like I was 33, I think, when I actually jumped into it. Wow. And even now, like I'm still learning a lot of stuff. I'm a visionary, so this isn't just it. Like tattoos are not just going to be it. I have like a lot of ambition and other projects that we're going to start working on. Yeah. But that's how I started. As a matter of fact, I started in Sunset Park with a gentleman.
So you remember like your first mentor in getting into tattoo?
Yeah, I mean, I was slaved out, but you know, back in the day, if you really wanted it, you had to do it. Like you had to, you know, take the hazing, right? As they call it, the bullying. Like they treated you like shit. Like you really had to do it. You know, for them, it was like you have to earn your stripes. Yeah, and I get that. You know, I'm not like that, but I get that. I also came in between sort of 2 phases. The industry of tattooing was changing, so we had to adapt to new things, new technology, new ways of tattooing, and the old way was going away. And so it was hard because a lot of these tattoo artists also were kind of adapting to a new thing.
What exactly was the new way of tattooing?
The new way of tattooing that I encountered was like the wireless tattoo machines, iPads. You know, you're not drawing on paper no more. But the applications to do stencils and all that stuff, all of that stuff is new. The needle types, the ink types, also like all this stuff is more scientific, more technical. So you had to learn all of that plus a lot of the old stuff. And you know, some of the artists that were established, they themselves were learning. So it was almost like we were learning together. Sometimes they had patience with me, sometimes they didn't. But overall, like, you know, that's part of the.
Yeah. Is it like you messed up and they're like, oh my goodness, we just showed you?
No,
aprendes. Like,
What's 1 plus 1?
yo,
pretty much the same thing, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would make you clean toilets afterwards, you know. They was like, oh, come on, bro, like, you know. But you gotta do it though.
Yeah, like
You know?
they're like, oh, where you going?
Yeah,
Home, the
Yeah.
toilet, man.
Yeah. give you the toothbrush, be like, scrub it, you know.
That's
What do you think was the biggest challenge going from, you know, you said you were a graffiti artist, going from concrete to skin?
When you do graffiti, it's similar because depending on the wall, right?
Yeah.
Brick sucks up the paint right away. You can waste a whole can on like a little space.
Okay.
It just sucks up the paint. Same thing with skin. There's skins that are like very rough that you're gonna have to try to get that ink in, and it doesn't do it. So it wasn't that much of a difference, to be quite honest. You know, there's some walls that are moist and, you know, humid, and it won't hold any ink. So it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It really wasn't a big difference. The spray can caps, similar like ink cartridges, you had a variation on them. So, you know, some you can do very small lines, very thick lines.
So you would say it was like a fairly smooth transition.
Pretty fairly, yeah.
So if
Pretty
anybody like out there in the graffiti world wants to go into tattooing now,
You know, well, that's what they did. A lot of them became tattoo artists.
gotcha.
There was a certain point where people were getting like arrested, and literally you were getting like arrested for like 2, 3, 4 years for doing graffiti, and
wow.
it became like a felony at one point too. I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the same thing. It's also a gauge control. So like you have to pressure control.
Yeah.
So like if you press on a can, it'll throw all the ink around.
Yeah.
Same thing with the needle. But you know, when I started, they started coming out with different types of needles, the way they cut them, and so it was new. But just getting all this information was the hard part.
Looking back now, would you enjoy the most, tattooing or when you were out there, you know, on the street graffitiing?
I mean, it was two different things, but I think that it's the intimate part, right? Because when you did graffiti, you would either go with one person or you would do it by yourself. So it was it was a moment of you being by yourself, and when you do tattooing, it's you're with a person.
Yeah.
And you're interacting ideas. You're speaking about life.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes they tell you their problems. Most of the time, they tell you their problems. And it's sort of like a therapy too. So you know.
Yeah. I mean, do you also remember the first tattoo that you did?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I did. I did. It's it's a crazy one though. I had a neighbor named Leone. He made a tattoo machine out of my brother's car control car.
Homemade tattoo machine.
A homemade tattoo.
First tattoo. Homemade tattoo.
Yep.
What?
And he did a string. He did it with a guitar string and
A guitar?
pen.
What?
Yeah.
Guitar.
And he was heartbroken, so he made me do a heart bleeding into a cup on his chest. But I didn't know how to do it. So what was crazy enough was like I used his own blood as ink. I mixed it in with a little bit of the black ink.
Quiero ver sangre, right?
And it became a dark red. But I did it, and I was like, huh. You know, I had the gun for like a good minute, but I was just messing around with him, you know, because he was like, "Yo, fuck yeah, I know you know how to draw, so tattoo me." I did that, and I think I did like a cross and some initials. But he was a wild boy though, because he was like a wild man, you know.
Yeah.
He would do a lot of wild shit. So, but I think that that was my first one on a person.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Leone.
Leone.
Yeah, homemade. Wow, what? You can do that?
Yeah.
Homemade tattoo. What?
I mean, that's kind of like the way they do it in jail with the guitar string.
You know, surprisingly though, he never went to jail. He just knew how to make.
He just
stuff.
knew it.
Yeah. He knew how to make things. You know.
Yeah. How has time changed now too in the tattoo world? from when you started to now?
There's a lot more artists.
Yeah.
There's a lot of younger new artists. There's a lack of tradition, which I'm seeing right now, because they're jumping
Mhm.
into it like, oh, I can make money, but it's not really like.
Like you're seeing is not how you love the art, you love what you do.
Yeah, there's no real love like there was before. It's more about money now with a lot of people. It waters down the craft of
Yeah.
tattooing. It doesn't like really allow for it to be like what it was back then.
Mhm.
And anybody can buy a Amazon kit, but with my craft, it comes responsibility too.
Yeah.
Like you have to be responsible for what you do in a person, and I feel that's what's lacking a little bit because people just, oh, let me tattoo you, tattoo party, and it's
Yeah.
like,
What is it that you see that's a mistake too, where some people like get the Amazon kit and they're just doing like tattoos just to do tattoos?
Well, the one thing is that they don't realize that the inks that they use
Mm-hmm.
have been in the warehouse for a long period of time, and so a lot of that stuff goes toxic because it's not good ink as opposed to like what we use now. Like it's really really good ink.
Yeah.
But those little things are like, nah, that's like injecting like household paint into your body.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what they don't know, but they're like, hey, tattoo. I remember I tattooed a kid who got a tattoo done in a house party, in a tattoo party, and I asked him who did it. He's like, oh, my boy got a kid, and he tattooed everybody. And I was like, how did he disinfect the needles? And he's like, oh, he just wiped them down with alcohol. And it's like, what? Like,
Oh my god.
that's how you get stuff, So yeah, that's crazy, but.
Wow. No, yeah, that sounds like with alcohol. And
But that mentality,
Mhm.
it's just crazy that
Yeah.
it's so rampant right now. Like
Mhm.
everybody's like, yo, I'm gonna learn how to tattoo, and it's like they buy the kids, but they don't really understand that. You can give somebody something with that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I think that's irresponsible. So
Yeah.
Like they don't even know the basics.
not even the basics. Listen,
Mm.
for you to get a tattoo license, you don't really need to learn how to tattoo. It's about cross contamination and blood-borne pathogens and stuff like that, like dealing with blood. When you buy a kit, they don't explain that to you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like you could be giving people, STDs or other stuff. Like,
Oh wow. Yeah. Alcohol is not gonna just wiping it with alcohol doesn't
why
work.
doing it with alcohol is not it, bro.
Remember, wiping it with alcohol is not always it. It's 99.9
Yes.
disinfectant. There's still
Yes.
that 0.1.
Yes.
Damn, that's something I didn't know.
No, it's heavy. Yeah, it's heavy. Every needle is single use,
Mhm.
and it comes sterilized. Those kits don't come sterilized. So you can potentially that metal can be allergic to the person. It can give them an infection,
Mhm.
stuff like that. People don't know that. They just like, let me tattoo somebody. That's what's changed. It's like the morality of it. I think.
Yeah.
Where they don't wanna be responsible for that stuff.
No, yeah. Now let's talk about your new location. Your tattoo shop. From the name and to how you created the space.
So we were in Bay Ridge.
Yeah.
We were there almost 6 years, and we moved over here to Sunset Park because we
Mhm.
wanted something bigger, something a little bit more like dope.
Yeah.
Because all my artists, they're like specialists in their realm of style, and
Yeah.
we initially were called No Limiting because going through this career of tattooing, I
Mhm.
was always limited by people or quote unquote mentors who were like, oh, you can't do this or you can't do that. And there was always a limit, always a wall. And then I was like, no, you know what? No, you're not going to put no limits on me. For a lot of people, like, they were like, oh, he's old. He's not going to make it. He's not going to do his thing.
Yeah.
I got a lot of that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, a lot of that. And I was like, watch, let me show you what I'm going to do. And I did it. We've been here for 4 months now, I think. And the reason why we changed the name was because now the perception of tattooing has been more about, oh, only thugs or people who do bad things get that.
No, yeah, definitely. That's what I start seeing now too. I mean, I thought a little bit like that when I was younger. You see how people look at you now when you get a tattoo, usually like family members. Why do you think is that also?
I think it's religious based,
Mhm.
religion based. Some people are like, oh, if you do this and you do that to your body, it's against God or whatever.
Mhm.
But it really isn't because, I don't really smoke. I don't do drugs.
Yeah.
I drink here and there. People perceive us as sinners or whatever because
Yeah.
we do tattoos, and in the realm of tattooing, there's like a lot of topics, right? Like There's religion. There's dynamics, demon stuff. Japanese cultural stuff, and a lot of dark stuff too. So people think, oh, just because you get this or you get that, that you're part of Satan's crew and stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah, no,
Look at him.
look at
He's part of Satan.
Yo, mi abuelita, bro, when she saw me that I got tatted, she like,
That's it.
she like, ¿por qué, mijo? I'm like, no, but it's like,
They automatically assume the worst, and it's
Yeah.
like, no, it's not, bro. Like I'm just trying to, identify with my stuff.
no, but like, I'm gonna be honest, like, the next day they heard that I got tattoo, everyone was at my crib, and I'm looking, I'm telling my cousin, they're like, yo, did you actually? I'm like, yeah. They're like the energy of how they saw me, they're like, I can never see you the same. I'm
All
like,
the
what?
comadres were
Yeah.
like,
I'm like, I told my godmother, she, ¿por qué?
I think that specifically for girls, right? Like they're considered like not worthy or unholy.
Oh, yeah.
If you guys get tattoos, if the girls get tattoos, and we tattoo like a lot of women in here, and it's one of those things where like they get more tattoos by us than men do here. But because men listen to like their mom or their grandma, oh, what are they gonna say? And I feel like with us, like the female empowerment has been heavy with us. And
Yeah, yo hago lo que yo quiero.
yeah, pretty much. Pretty
Tú no me
much.
mandas.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
but that's why we changed it to Saints and Sinners because realistically we're a little bit of both, and I think that you always gotta have a rebellious side to facing obstacles in life in general, and I think why not, right? Nobody's ever 100% good.
No,
There's always a little bad in you, but
I'm a little rebel.
yeah, right?
a little edge.
Yo, like, right? You see, a little edge.
You gotta go that blonde, bro.
Yeah. You see?
Please.
It's also a throwback to my dad's name. My dad's name was Santos.
Oh, okay.
And it was one of those things where like I felt like I needed to make a note to him, because he was so popular in Bushwick. Like, they would often call him Santitos de Plata, like the wrestler, and but he was so sociable, he was so cool, that I wanted to make it like where it's like, okay, Santos, It also represents the dynamic of our culture, right? We're Mexican, so it's like we're very black and white and very dark and light, and it's always like such a stew of different ideas and stuff like that. So like if you look around the shop, there's a lot of stuff that's so deep in cultures.
No, yeah, you very see so many different things, but it all blends in well.
Yeah.
It all blends in well. Like it's not just here. No, it just all just makes sense.
Definitely, and I think that was also like a part of like my artists and their taste were all sort of like influenced by the Mexican culture. That's why we named it Saints and Sinners.
Oh yeah, and fun fact, they're next to a church.
We're next to a church,
Yeah.
Next to a church.
but here's the other part.
What?
We're next to a church and we're next to a funeral church.
Oh,
funeral
what?
place.
Oh.
It was such a dynamic that I was like, you know what? I think it's time, and I think it's a sign.
And then you got the precinct.
Then we got the precinct.
Oh, no. Yo, he like not to say nothing. The father be coming here tatted and everything.
Yeah.
Imagine.
And he be like the Padre Nuestro right there.
Listen. I'm about to go get free tattoos in the church, right?
Yo.
But yeah, look, there's a funeral home across the street.
Yeah.
And the church.
The Saints and the Sinners.
The barrier of the limits, and we, a lot of my artists are young. Like, they're super young, and I'm so proud of them. And so like we overcame a lot of limits together as a group. They're not just my artists; they're like my kids and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, and now we're here, and we're going to usher in a new wave of tattooing in Sunset that hasn't been here in a hot minute.
Like this place definitely stands out, especially here in Sunset. The vibe, again, the environment. I feel like I'm somewhere else when I come inside. And also, thank you to you and to Spot for letting Raices podcast be recorded here too.
No, definitely. I like you guys a lot, and I think that you guys are doing an incredible job of like doing your little thing of promoting the culture. So why not? It doesn't really take from me. No problem. It doesn't really take nothing from me. It's just if anything I can help younger creatives, why not, right? Like I didn't go through that. Like nobody helped me. Like I really went through the trenches. But I think that just because I'm an old head doesn't mean I gotta I gotta be a gatekeeper and just be like, no, you gotta pay me for this. Like, no, that's
No,
not
yeah,
me.
no.
And anybody that knows me will tell you, like,
Mhm.
I've always been 100% on my word,
Mhm.
and there's no hidden agenda whatsoever.
No. This is another like topic too for the Patreon.
And people forget about the art of
Yeah.
whatever they're doing, and that's a tough line to cross because you need to survive.
Mhm.
You need money to do things, but sometimes I think that because I've done it,
Mhm.
like I've been broke several times,
Mhm.
but I keep on doing it because I do it for the love.
Yeah.
And when you do it for the love, people see how genuine you are,
Yeah.
and they show up.
Mhm.
They show up, and that's the important part. But it's not always our community.
Yeah,
Other
yeah.
people show up.
I feel like as with for our community too. Like we don't. Once we get a little bit higher than they thought that we were gonna get, that's when they're like, "Oh no, he's changed," or like, "Oh, like I'm good."
Yeah, but that's also like
It gets
that's ignorance.
Yeah.
That's a cultural ignorance that
Mhm.
everybody has because you have to be so focused at what you're doing. Sometimes you don't have the time
Yeah, yeah.
to be somebody else's friend like full time. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
these things take so much time to create and do and manage that people don't understand that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the sort of this disconnect comes from.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, he thinks he's all of this and all of that. Now he don't want to talk to me. But it's not. It's just the maintenance of a business.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Something like this.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they don't understand that.
No, yeah.
They think that you're just being, like a dickhead or you're just being an asshole. It's like that's not it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I need to focus on this because it's gonna give me something later on for my future.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to say it. Sometimes they don't have anything going on, so they sort of like cling on to people like us.
Like also like we experience it too. It's always easier to talk about like something how difficult we are in our heads to others that are creators or have their own thing, their own projects that they're doing because they also like they're so like focused on what they do. Other people won't understand. They're like, oh, why? Like
Yeah, no, they don't see it. And I think that but I also think that that's also like a societal thing, right? Because our Mexican community tend to listen and go 100% for other people, let's say employers, than their own community. And that's a little crazy because it's like, why are you doing that? Like support your community, like, and specifically now, like we're being targeted left and right.
Yeah.
This is the point where we should stand together. And I feel
yeah.
It's such a division because some people are like, oh well, I'm paying taxes and they're living off welfare, but yet they forget that the people that came here before them or their parents, they were taking welfare.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's sort of like it's a societal ignorance that people like don't want to acknowledge. Sometimes.
Yeah.
So it's like, what the fuck, right? So,
yeah. Now with the tattoo community, how is it here in New York with all of you guys? Do all of you support each other, help each other? Do y'all know each other?
Well, being my age, like I was kind of at the beginning of like all of the more popular artists. Like I was there in the beginning with them as an assistant, so like I know a lot of people, and it's a small world, when it comes down to tattooing and the tattooing environment. But there's still kind of this unity between us because it's like, oh, look at him, he's trying to be me. Instead of saying, hey, that's a good job, like like bigging you up, like no, they just like, oh, look at that, that's crap.
Yeah.
And some people just do it for the money, and you can see it when somebody comes in and they're like, oh, this person did this work, and you're like, oh, okay. But that's just a critique.
Yeah.
But some of them just really, they're just haters.
Yeah.
It's not united. And that's something that I don't like. It's not united because we are really, really talented in New York. There's a lot of great tattoo artists, that are like 35 to 45. I focused more on the youth and training the youth. Each one is amazing, and I got them young. One was 19, the other one was 17, the other one was 15. And I've gotten really great artists just show up at my door who were just regular artists, and they were amazing, and they were like willing to learn and just put in the work, put in the time. Like it's not about money. Like if I see that you come in and you're about money, I don't want to deal with you. No.
But what do you think of like social media? Like, do you think it has helped keep us more united, or has it actually made us more divided?
I think it has put a spotlight on our culture, but it hasn't united us as much. but it definitely has put a spotlight on our culture. I feel like because now everybody wants to do the same thing as everybody. Everybody's reviewing the same hot spot that and it's like why? Because they saw that somebody else was doing it, so they're like, let me go and try to do it better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is true.
Instead of doing it uniquely.
Over the time that you've been tattooing, how many students have you had under you?
Oh man, I've had so many students, bro. Like at one point, they used to call me the little school.
The little school is great.
It's
your
crazy.
Little boy, right
Yeah,
there.
the little boy.
Oh my God.
The little boy, right there.
That's definitely a little boy right there.
That's the little boy.
But you guys will meet him one day. But that's the whole thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was people hating on me. They would be like, "Oh, go to him. He'll teach you." That's the little school.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I didn't know about this until maybe like a year after I opened my shop.
Yeah.
They're like, "Yo, this guy? They call you the little school." But surprisingly though, under my belt, I have about 20 really, really amazing artists that I trained. I have my receipts, so they can never say, "Oh, he never taught me." No, you get me?
Yeah.
From doing line to shading. What I teach is independence.
Mm-hmm.
The independence to be yourself and push yourself. That's what I teach. It became a point of legacy more than money, because at the end of the day, I think I'll be remembered and I'll feel better if I can help somebody, inspire somebody, instead of having some money in my pocket. We all need money, but money's never like, it comes and goes. I think it's about the experiences. So like I've had so many artists that I trained that just showed up at my door.
Yeah.
From all walks of life, like they just showed up. They're like
the temple right there. Like they come. Like,
no, definitely like a temple, like a monk and stuff, like
right there, Izzy.
right there. Yo, that's why I got the Buddha.
Oh, what?
Yeah. After I heard that whole comment of the little school, I actually went and got the Buddha.
Yeah.
To welcome more people.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently, an orange Buddha welcomes good energy.
Oh, and okay, so it's even the color is specific.
It's
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know that either until
Now I know.
But you see, that's how you turn a negative into a positive.
Yeah.
They like.
I mean, that's a great ass name.
They were calling me this, but realistically, they copied a lot of the stuff that I did, and they want to mimic what I do.
But it's good. If it wasn't good, then people wouldn't want to do it. Wouldn't copy it.
Yeah.
That's all.
But I think also that's part of the first question. I had asked me about like be united.
Yeah.
Where like we're not united.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Can we? We could.
We can. But, now going into different topic, you have your business, you are training other tattoo artists, but you also have your personal life, right? You have your, how do you handle both?
The
question.
I've been watching TikTok talks, right, about this, and some people said about something. There's a term, something balance, work balance.
Mm-hmm.
There is no such a thing.
What? Okay, that's the first one.
There is no such thing as a balance. It's either you do it or you don't do it. There's never one in between. You just have to make time for whatever, at whatever time. Yeah. This is 24/7, 365. There are priorities in life, like my son, if he was smaller. But even that, like when he was smaller, I had 3-4 jobs and learning. I don't even know how I did it. But I know I had 3 jobs and I started learning tattooing. Yeah. And everything was such a blur, and now I'm here, But there's no balance at all.
Damn.
It's either you do it or you don't do it.
Also, this one's another question too. What are some sacrifices that you have to make in order to accomplish what you've done?
Oh man, on a personal level, I sacrificed a lot, like a lot.
Damn.
It's one of those things where like you sacrifice family time. You sacrifice time with your partners, family, everything, even health. Like, it's one of those things where like, nah, if you really want to make it to where you want to be comfortable, like you gotta suffer for it. I've been hospitalized from overworking myself. My diabetes spikes from just like only drinking coffee and one bread, like. That's how serious this is.
What you should have said that.
No, yeah.
But you know what though? Like I'm also an artist. I also
I'm
an illustrator and I'm a visionary. So like with the stuff that I'm doing now, will get me to that comfortable place of where I want to be. Because now that I've been doing this for 5 years, and mind you, I opened up my shop in the pandemic.
Yeah.
Like nobody did that. Realistically, nobody did that.
It was the worst time to open.
It was the worst time to open. We literally faced a plague, and we survived.
Yeah.
You know, and for me, it wasn't like, oh, like I want a tattoo. No, it was like I don't want to be in debt. Like I got a family, I got to feed. Fuck it. Like I'm gonna double up my mask and pray I don't get it every single day.
Mhm.
You know, and when I used to come home, you know, my wife at that time used to like, you know, she'd be like, clean me off and Lysol me, and she was like, you know, like take a shower right away, because you know she was afraid. My son was younger too, and so like we didn't want to affect anybody. But when I tell you, I sacrificed body and soul, bro. Like even now, like my back is done, not entirely, but like it's, you know, it's hospitalized from it. And I think that overcoming a lot of those things, like I know how to maneuver now. There's still no balance. There really isn't a balance. It's either you want it or you don't want it. And if you want it, there's no room for crying. You get me? There's nobody gonna come and save you. Like you have to go and do it. Like even against God, like you have to do it. But now I know I can do it with God. So it's like that's how I walked.
Yeah.
But balance? Nah, there's no balance in this thing. You know?
Yeah.
Deep. That's a different one.
So now we have our last segment called Spooky Scary Story Time.
The story was spooky already. All right.
No.
All right. Yeah.
Like any scary story in the shop?
Like you right in front of like a funeral home. Yeah.